Hey, yo, what up, man? It's Side 11, and right now I want to talk about Jesus Christ, yo. So check this out. A lot of people seem to think that Jesus Christ is an external thing or an external ceremony or a ritual, a position, a point in time, a person to go to outside of them to receive some sort of blessing, which by the way, ceremonially actually means to be less. You're actually supposed to bliss yourself. You know what I'm saying? Because you're the only person who can anoint you. And if you are getting your anointment and your faith and your morality from outside of yourself rather than your experience, then that will put you in a position to fall short and also be prey and be a mental prey, an emotional, you'll get emotionally and mentally preyed upon, basically, because you are constantly praying. So you are open to influences. So that's what the church tries to put you in the position in. But in terms of Jesus Christ, which you seem to think you are worshiping him outside of yourselves, in terms of an idol, it's not that. It's an internal thing. And even back then, it wasn't an external thing either. It was just a whole lot of tribes in Jerusalem, in Syria, in those areas, you know what I mean, that were embodying that virtue and principle of being a light warrior type of shit, and embodying like their own solar plexus, their individuality, and they would use and harness their own ability, their own understanding of life and what they have gathered as experience to basically use the environment and the people around them to the best of their ability type of shit, create the right scenario, right situation type of thing, because it's basically an anointment even. So when you go to the church, people try to, the pastors and things of that nature, give you like the ashes and things like that. But if you go to, in the Greek, Christos, Jesus Christ, Christos, it's basically the anointment oil which you receive. But it's an internal anointment, and it's a ritual and a ceremony of renewment, and you creating a new type of blood flow and new cells in your mind. When you create a new habit, when you create a new idea of doing something, a new way of doing something, and you're hard about it, you create a neurological connection in your mind. You create a type of linking. You create a type of syncing. So you sink into the habit. That's a ritual and a ceremony. So when you anoint yourself, that's actually something that you do mentally to yourself all the time. But now you are selling that ability, and now you're going to someone else outside of you to do that and to ask for that permission. So now you're putting yourself in a position where like you feel bad for an external Jesus Christ that really the Roman emperors, Constantine and these people, put in front of you in order to conquer the Jews and things like that. Because even the Jews back then were like warriors and things like that too. They would go to war, things like that. They would believe also like God is going to open the heavens and angels were going to come down and strike and things like that. So these emperors were trying to figure out and give them a new peaceful Bible, and something to sedate them, something to calm them down. And if you research about the Council of Nicaea and things like that, just understand that simply it's a program of rulership. The authority of the church to rule over the mind of the people and to control what is the idea of good and bad. And based on that, you live your life. And now they can create all types of corporations under that realm and idea and harness more energy from you and direct your mind. So who told you that even God and Jesus is in the building? Where in the Bible do they even tell you to go to a church? There's no such thing. And if it does, it's always telling you about the temple of God which is within, because the body is the temple of God. This is the temple of God. This is the embodiment of the divine right here. This is all the holy lands right here. Your throat chakra, you know what I'm saying? Your Saturn chakra, your crown chakra, your third eye chakra, all that, bro. This is your holy temple. Where else are you going? Where else are you going? You're going to experience God in the church? The pastor is going to give you permission to feel good, brother. Feel good, sister. Because you donated to the church. Now you can feel good about yourself. That's the program they give you. And then you donate and your leg and you pat yourself on the back. And the pastor goes in the back and drives with a Mercedes and he's chilling with his girl. And you're broke in the apartment. What the fuck kind of life is that? Man, that's fucked up, yo. What kind of shit is this? Like, what? I'm sorry, I kind of have to laugh a little bit and make it comical because it's funny to me, because everybody lived through this. I lived through this, and it's just so funny to be a part of and so funny to see as well. So it's like, when you understand, when you go back to the original understanding that a Jesus Christ is someone whose individuality has been like exalted, someone's individuality, someone who harnessed and sharpened himself to understand that they can truly embody anything and they can become all possibilities in this physical realm. And that means being able to take all mental forms, all mental properties. Everybody's expressing properties. Some people are expressing the property of fire. Some people are expressing, which is more expressions of their feelings and ideas and things like that. Some people are expressing the properties of earth, being practical and seeing the reality instead of the illusion and things like that. Some people are practicing the elements of air, logic, communicating, going far with your ideas, back and forth, things like that. We're all expressing something. We're all creating energies. And when you understand that these people were alchemists, these people understood mental alchemy, because this is what you're doing here. So when you understand what you're doing and you understand how to move, how to shift dimensionally, how to do morphology, how to take on any shape and form, be the embodiment of all possibilities down here on earth, you'll be a bad motherfucker. And that's the point of going hard and being looking like Jesus, real shit. But if Jesus is suffering because y'all just keep praying on him. Y'all be like, Jesus, we need you, Jesus, we need you. And these churches be making sure that they can use the shit out of that energy, the shit out of that narrative. They're putting the cross all up in your face. They program you so when you look at the cross, you be like, look at the suffering, look at this evil. People are dying, people are hurting from the inside. But who did all that? That's the goddamn Romans themselves. They hung and killed that motherfucker. And then they dare use his fucking grave, legacy, and all that shit, whether it was real or not, for them to make an image and an idea about you needing to be good, and you needing to behave, and you needing to be quiet, and you needing to shut the fuck up. Who the fuck does that? That's what they did. That's the mentality they practice. That's the shit they put you in. They make you submit. They make you make sure you got your hands like this on your head on the motherfucking floor. Real shit. I tell you no goddamn lies. So don't tell me that you need some Jesus Christ in your life, man, because I just told you that Jesus Christ is inside of you, yo. You is that shit. You got that shit inside of you. You can activate that blood flow. You can activate that DNA. Because when you know how to speak to yourself, when you know how to walk the valley of shadow and death and go through a situation and understand that that was necessary and that was an experience and an experiment to learn, man, you be a bad motherfucker then. Real shit, yo. So that's why I'm like, see, you gotta be wise as well. I can't say I'm completely against the church, because there are certain individuals, certain people that need to be binded and things of that nature. But at the end of the day, it's up to you to create the environment for you to be mentally and physically safe. So regardless if the government is giving you protection, is giving you like a sense of safety, security, mentally or physically, you know what I mean? You want to be able to create that environment for yourself based on your ideas and your feelings, because you two are practicing being a creator, but then they make you practice being a creator in their little system. And why would you want that? So when I say Jesus Christ, you gotta understand Jesus Christ is a big intellectual property. You know what I mean? That the Romans used to rule over again and again. And when you go to the Vatican and things like that, if you ever go to the basement, they basically just probably worship the person who created that idea, who created that binding seal, who created that system, who transmuted that energy flow that was in the world. Because when you know how to take an energy that's already here and harness it and morph it and take it through different shapes and forms, boom. Bro, listen, like Osama bin Laden might have never been a bad person. I don't know, and I don't really give a fuck. But I know that the people that know how to twist the narrative and make things look a certain way, but there's literally another face here. Because you gotta understand, There's two different sides of the coin, but the coin is still the same coin. Real shit. Like, they not evil and they not good. They just, you know, they just on a different type of game than you. So you gotta ask yourself, what type of game are you on? Real shit. And that's why I'll be telling people there's no need to be in the church. There's no need to go to the mosque. That's phony. You're just lying to yourself on the highest level. You're lying to yourself on the highest level. You're dragging yourself down on the highest level. Like, do you know how many like ideas that can be fulfilled, like spaces, like new possibilities, evolutions of reality that haven't occurred yet that you can bring about? Like, that's powerful. That needs to be celebrated. That needs to be loved. That needs to be valued. That needs to be nurtured. But due to the current, let's just say the dominant narrative that we have right now, that the controllers are throwing up against us, not everybody might be able to go through it, but you gotta be spiritually strong because you gotta be your own source at some point. At some point, you're gonna have to get off your mama's titty. At some point, you're gonna have to say, you know what? Thank you, Jesus. You know, I learned enough. I gotta go to bigger and better things now. And it's not a bigger and better things in terms of being like, fuck the church and shit like that, but understanding it on a bigger level. See, I be pissed off because I actually understand what's going on, and people that are in it just be chilling and not knowing what's going on, and they just be like getting harnessed by entities and things like that. And even that's a whole other thing. That's a whole other thing, because it don't matter what you're talking about. Islam, Christianity, Judaism, it's all the same being. It's all the same group of entities, which is just a group of ideas and thoughts and feelings, and based on resonance, you can bring them down here on earth. So the church and these motherfuckers, they are literally actually summoning a bad nigga. They are summoning hell. They are summoning the demonic pit. They are summoning evil. The shit that you be seeing people running around, kids grabbing cars, driving around like it's GTA 5 out the whip, shooting niggas, robbing gas stations, and all that shit. Who do you think the group is that's responsible for this shit? Who do you think they are? You know who they is, but you just keep laying back like, oh, I don't know, there's nothing going on in life. I love me some Jesus Christ and some cookies. That's what people want to do. That's what people want to do. Real shit, yo. But yeah, I said, I'm done. You can like, comment, subscribe if you like this pander, and I'm gonna see y'all next time. Real shit.